And I know people don't believe this, but 10 years from now, the people that bought now will not also be able to afford where they're living, because it's going to keep going up. It always does, just because of inflation, if nothing else.
So really, payment wise, it would probably have washed out, but I wouldn't have had that asset for as long as I did to start building equity sooner. So really it is, time in the market is a lot more important than timing the market and controlling what we can control.
And I think, let's look at what we can control, because people like to focus and stress about what you cannot control instead of trying to focus on what you can. So, one of the things that you can control is what kind of debt that you get on a property that you buy.
So I know some people like the long-term fixed rate, which if it's your primary residence, you can definitely control your interest rate for 30 years. But maybe you're looking at something like a 15 or 20-year loan. You can control that piece. So focus on that and do your cash flows based on that.
You can. And I do think, though, you should fix it. Like, I think in this kind of environment, even though I believe rates are coming down next year, I wouldn't bet a whole entire loan on that. I would get fixed rate
Yeah.
debt that cash flows now if you're an investor, and or
Yep.
fixed rate debt that you can afford now if you're a home buyer.
Yeah.
And, don't try to do one of these, it's a adjustable in 5 years or whatever, because you don't know what that rate's going to be then. And to me, because it's a long-term play, that is risky.
Well, and some people say, well, refinancing costs money. I just want to wait till the rates go down. What do you tell them?
Well, he has to math out, right? Depends on the
Yeah.
math, Like, I've talked to my lender, which I think everyone should do, to figure out, I have a loan that's at 6.9, and I want to know when it financially makes sense. Like, at what rate does it financially make sense to refinance that loan? Because there are times when it can be a waste of money, and there, are times where it's not, and you have to know that breaking point.
Yeah. So sometimes it might be, a 1 year payback or a 3 year payback, which if you have your lender, they can help you estimate that holding period. And if you're thinking of selling or you're certain that you're going to sell before that, even though it's a lower interest rate, it might not work or make sense to refinance. So
Yeah, because it does cost money, and also your payments kind of reset. So, at the beginning of a loan, you always pay the most interest on the payment. So you have to calculate that in as well.
yeah. So it is interesting to look at those numbers and go everything accordingly.